Hello, welcome to another episode of Raine Plays. I'm in The Sims 4 today, just doing a random build. I went into the gallery looking for some inspiration. I typed in renos and I came across this abandoned house. Apparently Lil Simsy asks for these. This is from La Vaquita. I'm gonna try to read what it says here. Oopsie. And ironically, as it is, Lil Simsy ended up posting one on Sunday, but thankfully it's not this house. So La Vaquita posted this, and it says, long time ago, a couple of oldies and their cat used to live in this house. Suddenly they died in a car crash. Sadly, they didn't have any family, so the house was not inherited. It didn't take long for the house to fall apart. It was abandoned for a lot of years until one day it was put on sale. Oh well, I can't read it all. Long story short, it's been abandoned and it's up to me to renovate it. And I had no idea Lil Simsy was going to post something like this on a Sunday, but thank goodness it's not this house. So thank you to La Vaquita from Puerto Rico. I hope you don't mind me doing this. I found it on the gallery, so I'm assuming it's safe. This threw me, and I will apologize. I know this is a bit janky. I was completely thrown off. First of all, I thought this was just one house. But it turns out this is like a duplex. And this whole side here is unusable. I think she used platforms, and I just couldn't get it to work. So I end up deleting the whole thing. But this is very creative. I love how people can do this. Just go into debug and go to town. The way they use the pillars to make it look like house beams with minus the drywall and stuff. Unfortunately, there's a lot of this debug stuff that you cannot just delete. So I had to set it all aside and then have my sim come in and throw it away. That was the only way I could get rid of it. So this garage and this side of the house, I'm very sad to say, did not make the cut. See, this part was fine, and then that's the other side of the house. But then this, I don't know if you can tell or not, but you can see the ground beneath. And no matter how much I tried with platforms, I could not get it to go down far enough. Very confusing. I even cut it all out. But it ended up just looking too big, like way too much house. And this is on that Meadows lot in Newcrest, so it's a decent sized lot, but the house was just getting way too big, so I chose to make it smaller. So, and there was a grave stone here, but it was for a kitty. I guess it was the cat that they lived with. Don't know if it died in a car accident or if it died of starvation or old age. Because I think cats can pretty well take care of themselves if their owners happen to die. Unless they're locked in a house. Yeah, it's a shame about this side. I had no idea that, I don't know why. I mean, even the roofs are two different things. But I had assumed this was one whole house. I guess I wasn't paying much attention, so. But it's very clever the way they do these. I can't imagine building a house and then junking it up like this. I think it takes a special person to do that. They must be a lot of fun in real life, people who do this. So we go into the quick cleanup and renovation. I didn't mind the outcome. Oh, I might as well mention that real quick here. As I was going through my redesign, after I had fixed the walls and the floors and I cleaned everything up and I started decorating the rooms, I kept finding more and more little debug pieces. So I don't even know if I got them all. Like those cracks in the wall and things like that, little teeny tiny specks of dust on the floor. I hope I got them all, but I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. I haven't decided if I'm going to put this up on the gallery or not. I suppose I should, in homage to La Quita. Is that what it said? La Quita from Puerto Rico. But I enjoyed doing this type of work. I got a big kick out of that, so I'm probably going to do it again. Certainly hope Lil Simsy doesn't mind, because I did see the hashtag, but I thought maybe this is from one of her old shout out things, you know, build me a junky house and I'll renovate it. I know she's done those videos in the past, but I swear to you I haven't seen one in a long time. I just assumed this might have been one of the old ones that didn't make the cut. But again, I'm assuming because it's on the gallery that it's up for grabs and that anybody can do this. I hope I'm right. If I'm wrong, apologies all around, and I will never do it again if somebody will tell me you can't do this. But I did have fun. I thought it was interesting. Yeah, see, that was it. No matter what I took away or tried to move, you just got the ground. You didn't get a flooring. And I couldn't put a flooring in. It was the weirdest. I don't know what they did. But they made that side of the building inaccessible. So this was my attempt. I just got rid of it and did it all over again. But as I've said before, it just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm like, no, stop. So what I did was I utilized the garage that was back there. And I'm not a fan of garages in The Sims 4, and simply because the Sims cannot drive in The Sims 4. Yeah, it's cool to see a car in a garage. Very cool. But if it's not purposeful or useful, then I don't understand the point. So, didn't want a garage. But like I said, for this particular type of build, very clever. Absolutely clever. It probably took me way too long to figure out an interior design and then how to fix the exterior in a way that made sense. And also, by the way, that would make it easy for me to make roofs. Ay, ay, ay. And you may notice as well, I really stink at, how would you say, taking what's there and rearranging it, especially the walls. I have seen so many simmers just click somewhere, and all of a sudden those white lines show up everywhere and they start moving things around, but they do it so fast, I just don't get it. It's not registering with me. Now, I've tried it, and I finally saw where you can do that, and you look up and it'll say delete wall. Just now learning this, and I've had the game since 2017? Just now figuring that out. So yes, I'm very slow. Yes, I'm very dense. And this was a struggle, but it was a good struggle. That's all I'm telling you. And it wouldn't be a struggle for anybody else but me, because I'm sure everybody else gets all these little secrets and tricks of the trade, and I just don't. Prime example, PJ was streaming a Sims 4. I couldn't believe it. He put Baba Booey in a Sims house. And as he was building it, I had to watch it after the fact, because he goes on so early in the morning, I'm just not even awake when he's streaming on Twitch. So I have to watch after the fact videos. So I can't get involved in chat or anything like that, but as he was building this house, he's like, how do you do this? Where is this? Why can't I do this? How do I find this? And I'm talking to the screen, right? But his chat kept telling him this, that, and the other, and it would not have been anything I would have recommended. And that's all I'm saying. Everybody else's way of building a house in The Sims is never my way. So it's almost embarrassing to let you see these, because I'm sure everybody who watches this is going, what in the world are you doing? Why are you doing it this way? Why are you clicking that instead of doing this? Why are you going here instead of going there? I know you are. And I apologize for it, but this is just the way I started doing it. And I know I've said this at least a half dozen times already. Even watching tutorial videos, I will rewatch them and then rewatch them again and watch it a third and a fourth time. And you think it's sunk in and you think you get it until you go to do it yourself. And then everything I thought I knew goes right out the window, and it's like, I don't remember. Or worse, you do remember. And then you go to apply it and it doesn't work. It works for them, but it doesn't work for me. Either way, it's very frustrating. So I am as frustrated as you are if my way of building frustrates you. All I can say is, I'm sorry. I get just as frustrated. But this is the way I know how to do it. I hope it's not too distracting. But anyway, I kept the bones of the house, I think the structure of the house, as close as I could. Gave it a few of my own little twists, like actually, there were so many rooms in this house that were unidentifiable. I think aside from the kitchen and a bathroom upstairs, you really had no idea what was what. So I sort of did have free range. And yes, I did mess with the stairs and the upstairs. But the upstairs was so broken that I think it would have been okay if I was to, in real life, go in and make a renovation on a house like this. I think it would be okay to decide where the rooms are going to go. So I think it would be okay in a build like this. But I think you might also agree that I did, to the best of my ability, stick with a majority of the original structure of the house. I hope you think so. Because I was really worried when I took that side off. I'm like, oh boy, I'll bet this is going to ruffle a few feathers. And I didn't mean to do that. Let me tell you right now, it was not intentional. It was that the longer I looked at it, the worse it seemed to keep it that way, because it was just too much. It was just too much there. Also, being unable to utilize or access that side of the house made me think, well, then what is the point? Why is it even there? I had shrunk it down. I thought, well, maybe I'll make this like their gathering room, right? Have guests over, this is where we would all sit and chat. And even that seemed too much. So I know there's a teeny tiny living room and an even smaller, well, no, the kitchen's biggest, the dining room is next, and the living room is very tiny. But if you're looking at it from a Sims 4 perspective, I think that's okay. Because I have rarely seen a Simmer host a party. And when they do, those Sims tend to gather in groups of 2 or 3, but you never see every single one of your invites together in the same place doing the same thing. If you have seen that, that's wonderful. I just haven't. So to have a small living room does not seem like that big of a deal to me. Like if you were having a birthday party, I'm sure you would either have it in the kitchen, dining area, or out in the backyard. So I'm talking if you want to have your Sim sit down and read, if you want your Sim to invite someone who has knocked at your door into the house so that you can talk to them and get your social up, that would be the room you would go into. But me personally, I lock my doors the minute I build a house, and I say only let the household members in and out of this door, only let household members in and out of this gate, sorry. So I just don't have to worry about that kind of stuff, because I notice they still, after all of the updates and all of the changes and all of the fixes, a Sim will still just barge into your house, go up into your bedroom, and plunk their butt down in front of your computer and start using it. And that, I'm sorry, even if it's game, that still absolutely throws me. I cannot imagine which Maxis employee thought that was a good idea. It's just, oof. Can you imagine that happening to you in real life? your neighbor up the street who you don't even know their name. They just knock at your door. You say hello to them and then they barge right past you, go into your bedroom and sit down and just fire up your computer and start playing Minecraft or something. Can you imagine? Yeah, that happens all the time. So that is just too annoying to me. I just don't like it. But the other thing too, you want your sim to make friends, right? So you have them socialize. And then it's like that gives them license to just come in and make themselves at home in your house. However, if you go into their kitchen and make them a salad, or that would be such a sweet thing for a neighbor to do. Don't you agree? You get to know your neighbor, they come in, you're chatting away, and all. The next thing you know, you've got this 7-course meal sitting out, and then they just leave. I think that would be wonderful. That you get scolded for. But not entering your house uninvited, going up into your personal space and using your computer. That's okay. I just don't get it. It's crazy. I don't know if I have to continue saying this. I did close the window because the neighbor's out there just shouting at somebody on the phone. And then he's got a buddy over and they're shouting at each other. But somebody's also cutting their lawn. I shut the window so you're not going to hear Mr. Cricket. But I do have a fan going behind me. I just hope you don't mind because it's saving me. It is so horrifically hot. So I am doing this on a Sunday, which is the 22nd of August, but I don't believe this is going to go up until Tuesday of this week. Now here too, with color, I tried to go as neutral as I could on the walls. So I gave them dashes of color here and there with paintings or a lantern or some flower, something like that. And what do you think of the window between the dining room and the living room? That just came to me and I thought, you know, I like that. I think that's cool. Maybe I could have lifted up just a little bit higher, but I thought that was kind of fun and quirky, so that's why I did that. Did not go crazy with the walls for some reason. I'm getting less and less inclined to clutter up my walls with paintings and tchotchke and hanging flowers and this and that and the other. And it could be that I am so bored with everything that you can hang on a wall in this game. I know they've given you some updates like this painting here, but it's creepy. It's a creepy painting. And then those paintings, those are from actual sim users, but the color scheme, it was just too vibrant for this build. And then I was afraid to put in anything that did have a past, because I do not know, honestly, if that causes ghosts to appear, or if you have to turn on the ghosts to get them to appear. I don't know. What is that, a house trait or something? A lot trait? I'm not sure. But I was afraid to do that. So this is the after tour, and this is what I chose to do to this house. Lots of trees. Now that's another thing you might notice from based on my old builds as to now. My landscaping has changed dramatically. And it could have something to do with sameness, and I'm getting tired of seeing the same old flowers and bushes. But I think this is more minimalist, in my opinion, and it's more natural. Just go with some trees, some basic trees. Place them strategically, and it should look nice. So that's what I attempted to do here. I love this little pathway. I think it is so charming. Once we turn around here, you'll see it. Oh, okay, maybe you'll see it later. So you'll notice the garage is now a greenhouse. I love building greenhouses in The Sims 4. You may or may not already know this, but I am an avid gardener in this game. I want every single plant, I want every single fruit, I want every single herb. Anything that I can get my Sim's hand on, I'm going to grab, I'm going to plant it. And while I love seasons, I do not like having to wait for something to harvest. So having a greenhouse gets rid of that. They will grow year-round. And my Sims are known to have over 100 of each item in their refrigerator. So I always forget to sell them. But now that we have the cottage living, country escape, oh boy, Henford on Bagley. Now that we have that, we can take our produce there and sell it. I'm sure we can sell it anywhere. But I love the idea of retail and in-home business, the freelance careers. I just love that. I love it so much. I don't care if it's rabbit hole or not. That never bothered me. However, the scientist career and I believe the police and the doctor, those are fun. As glitched as they are, I still think they're fun to go to. That's why I have such a massive greenhouse. Now the pond here, if you don't mind my saying, I installed fish, and you'll see some on the ground, but you'll also notice some floating. I don't know if that is a game glitch as well, but a couple of those koi were in the water and out of the water, half in, half out. I thought that was weird. That was the best I could do with the top of the roof on this particular greenhouse. It's oddly sized, but I don't think it looks too bad. But this path here, just love it. I think it is so charming. And again, did not go overboard with anything. However, there's plenty here to do to skill build. Only thing I do not recall whether I inserted a chess table. And I don't think I did. But I think I was thinking, they can let them go out and do that. There are so many parks that could be utilized for that purpose. So instead of having one in the house, you can always send. I know the load screen stinks. I understand that, and that's why a lot of people would rather do everything from their house. But you can always add one. Also, I do not remember how much this house came to. So you see the walls are very plain, floors very plain. This is a spare room. It's at the front of the house. I did not go crazy with it. But I'm almost positive this is pretty normal for what was there before. I know the bathroom was there, and I know there was a room there. And the back of the house may have changed a bit. I'm sure it did. So I just gave them a little office up here off their bedroom. It could have been an ensuite bathroom, but I thought, I always do that. Let's switch it up. So I gave her a little office. Now I'm sorry I forgot to hit pause, so it's going to be nighttime when you see the house on the outside, but you get the idea what it looks like on the inside. So there's a painting easel, there's a flower table. It is what it is. I enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed it too. And if you did, please leave a like. As always, I thank you so much for supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. I also hope you have an absolutely fabulous day. Stay cool, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Yeah, it's a little dark, isn't it? Oh dear. Okay, well, have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye-bye.